Most attorneys think about a lateral move in terms of where they are right now. What's my book today? What are my clients doing today? What is my compensation today versus what it could be somewhere else? And those present tense questions matter, but they're incomplete because the move you're making isn't for who you are today. It's for who you're going to be in 5 years. And most attorneys, in my experience, do not think hard enough about the future when they're evaluating a lateral opportunity. I'm Andrew Wilcox, legal recruiter since 2003, and I want to spend today's episode on something that I think is underappreciated in lateral conversations: forecasting. Specifically, how to think clearly about your future business needs, where your practice is going, what it will require, and whether a prospective firm is actually built for where you're headed. Because here's a risk if you don't do this. You make a move that's perfectly calibrated to your current practice. And 3 years later, you find yourself in a situation that's structurally identical to the one you left, outgrown the platform again, or boxed in by the new firm's limitations, or in a market position that made sense for the attorney you were, but not the attorney you're becoming. Let's think about this more carefully. Start with where your clients are going. The most important forecast you can make is about your existing clients, not where they are today, but where they're going. Are they growing? Are they expanding into new geographies, new industries, new transaction types that will eventually generate more and more complex legal work? Are they on a trajectory that will make their legal needs larger, more sophisticated, and more demanding over the next 5 years? Or are they relatively mature, stable, valuable clients, but unlikely to generate significantly expanded work? If your best clients are growing companies, you need to be at a firm that can grow with them. If a client is a founder owned business that is approaching a transaction event, a sale, a recapitalization, an IPO in the next 3 years, you need to be at a firm where that transaction can be handled at the right level. If a client is expanding internationally, you need geographic reach you may not currently have. Map your top 5 to 10 client relationships and ask explicitly, where will their legal needs be in 5 years? And can my current firm serve those needs? The answer to that question may tell you as much about timing as anything else. Then look at where your practice area is going. Legal markets are not static. Practice areas evolve. Some are growing, driven by regulatory change, market activity, technology development. Some are contracting, commoditized, disrupted, or simply seeing declining transaction volume. Some are consolidating around a smaller number of dominant firms. Some are fragmenting in ways that create opportunities for specialists. Where is your practice area in that landscape? Is the work you do today going to be more valuable in 5 years or less? Is the client base in your practice area expanding or shrinking? Are the rates sustainable or are they under pressure? Are the most sophisticated matters going to a narrower set of elite firms? Or is the market for your type of work broadening? These questions don't have simple answers, but ignoring them, making a lateral decision based purely on current conditions without thinking about sector trajectory is a serious mistake. So, assess what you'll need that you don't have. As your practice evolves, what infrastructure will it require that you don't currently have access to? Some common examples: you're a transactions attorney whose clients are increasingly doing cross border work. You'll need real international reach, not just an international referral network. You're a litigator whose practice is moving toward arbitration. You need a firm with a serious arbitration capability and the relationships to support it. You're a regulatory attorney whose clients are navigating an increasingly complex intersection of your specialty and adjacent practice areas. You need real depth in those adjacent areas, not just a couple of attorneys who dabble. The question is, what will you need to be excellent at what you do for the clients you're trying to serve in 5 years? And is your current firm building toward that? Or are they going to find yourself back in the same structural gap just further down the road? Evaluating prospective firms against a future state, not a present state. When you're looking at a lateral opportunity, most of the conversation is about today. What's the current book? What's the current compensation structure? What's the current culture? All of that matters. But the more sophisticated question to bring into those conversations is about trajectory. Where is the firm investing? What practice groups are they building? What markets are they trying to capture? What is their strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years? And does your practice sit at the center of a plan or at the periphery of it? A firm that's investing heavily in your practice area is a very different home than a firm where your practice area is a legacy capability that leadership is somewhat indifferent to. Both firms might offer you a good package today, but 3 years from now, the first firm has built around you, and the second has let your practice area plateau while they invested elsewhere. So, some specific questions to ask. In lateral conversations with firms, push past the present tense questions. Ask, what does the firm's investment in this practice area look like over the last 3 years? And what does the plan look like for the next three? Asking, who are the clients you're trying to capture in this space? And are those clients that overlap with it what I'm building? Ask also, where are the strategic priorities of this firm? And where does my practice sit relative to those priorities? Firms that are genuinely excited about your practice and your trajectory will have substantive answers. Firms that are primarily interested in what you'll bring on day one will struggle with the long term questions. And I'll say one more thing. This is also a self assessment exercise. Be honest about where your own practice is going. Are you on a growth trajectory that requires a bigger platform? Or are you at a stage of your career where stability and leverage matter more than growth? Both are legitimate answers, but they lead to very different decisions about what kind of firm and what kind of opportunity is right for you. The best lateral moves are made by attorneys who understand both where they're going and what they'll need to get there. Build that picture before you start looking. I'm Andrew Wilcox. This is the Lateral Brief. If you'd like to have a confidential discussion about your career goals or your practice, please email me at andrew@wilcox-legal.com. And as always, grateful, Andrew Wilcox.